What's up? It's Coach Nick from MAAA Marketing. I hope everybody had a fantastic day. It's coming to be night over here in South Florida pretty soon. I was watching some news articles today, and I saw a very interesting article on Elon Musk where he basically said that 12% of most current jobs are going to disappear within a very short period of time, within the next few years. And I've heard estimates that that's going to actually take place to a much greater extent than 12%. And I personally believe it's probably going to be a much greater extent than that. And one of the things that Elon Musk was basically saying is, look, you're going to have a tremendous amount of displaced workers that are in essence not going to be able to be retrained or retrained quick enough to take on new positions and things of that nature. And of course, a lot of businesses will go out of business and so on and so forth. And what he suggested as a solution was that the U.S. government, and I guess governments in general, should create a living wage. So basically a minimum wage that's paid by the government to every single person in the country. That same idea was also reiterated by Facebook executive Mark Zuckerberg at a commencement speech at a college. So what I want to do is I want to really get your opinion as to what your thoughts are on this and have a little bit of a conversation about how you feel about this, and do you in fact feel that most of these jobs that they're talking about, are they on the hit list? Are they going to be disappearing? Or is this a lot of fluff and nothing that people should really worry about? You know, what do you think? Comment below. Let's share this live stream and have a conversation about it, because I find it very interesting, especially since you know, we own our own business and we have people that work for us and so on and so forth. So it's something that really goes to the heart of everyone's livelihood and survival, and I'd like to know what your thoughts are. So go ahead and comment, let me know, and let's have that discussion. Now, I've seen from my end, okay, quite a bit of automation taking over many different tasks and jobs that were originally being done by humans. And I've seen it on a very large scale, and I've seen it speed up quite significantly within the past 12 to 24 months. And what I've also noticed, a trend that more and more of this automation is coming out, and it's not coming out very small, it's coming out in bursts, and every time it comes out, it seems to absorb more and more of the labor that was done originally by humans. And you know, quite a bit of productivity software and things of that nature that are out that pretty much eliminate a lot of the menial tasks and not so menial tasks that were, you know, just a few years ago only done by humans. You know, the artificial intelligence technology that's out there is quite robust, and it seems to be getting even more robust to the point where a lot of the software can predict what it needs to do, and not only predict what it needs to do, but actually execute the tasks for businesses. So it eliminates large swaths of human manpower, or woman power, if you will. So what are your thoughts? Do you feel that this is something to worry about? Do you feel that there's going to be positions available even with all this technology? You know, a lot of people say that with this technology there'll be a outgrowth of new types of businesses that didn't exist. Some people say, listen, it may be very well that new types of businesses and new types of jobs will arise, but because of the rate that technology is speeding up at, that it's the new positions are not going to be able to keep up with the amount of people that are going to be losing their jobs. So a couple of things that I've noticed. I mean, I've noticed when I go into the banks that now they have what they call smart tellers, right? So those smart tellers have certainly replaced in many banks at least two of the human tellers, where you can basically go to the smart teller, which is nothing more than a smart ATM, and tell them exactly what you need. So if you need change for $500 and you need 4 $100 bills and 5 20s, you basically just tell the machine what you need, and the machine dispenses the cash out right then and there. So I've seen that with banks. I've also seen things with more and more use of cashing out at different stores without having a human, and just going right to a terminal and cashing out. And then of course, you know that recently Amazon just bought Whole Foods, and Amazon already has certain businesses out there, grocery businesses, where you basically walk in with a box. You're connected as a Prime member of Amazon. You take your little box, you start taking items off the shelf, you put it in your shopping box, and the item is automatically charged to your Amazon account. And then when you're done, the box is lined with a plastic bag. You just take the plastic bag and leave the grocery store. So there's no cashing out, there's no packaging required by any of the workers. You're packaging as you go. There's no need to cash anything out because the items are automatically being added to your Amazon Prime account. And of course, if you decide that you don't want the item and you take the item out of the basket, it's automatically deducted. So these are many, many different types of positions that no longer exist out there. Also positions that tend to be blue collar. So, you know, a lot of people might say, well, maybe a white collar position is much more safe, and the way to deal with this type of automation that's occurring is to basically go into positions that deal with white-collar type of jobs, so your doctors, your lawyers, your dentists, your accountants, and things of that nature. But here's a really interesting thing. Just this past year, Harvard Law School, which used to be the most coveted law school in the U.S., has changed its rules. It's no longer simply requiring people to take LSATs, which are the entrance exams for law schools. Now they're allowing people to apply for admission to law school at their school by simply taking graduate exams, which is something that had never happened. And the reason why they're doing that is because they're finding that more and more people are not applying to their school to go to their law school because, quite frankly, the legal profession is morphing and changing, and with artificial intelligence, it's being affected by this automation. So, okay, it's being affected, and you're going to go to law school and incur $50, $100, $200,000 worth of debt and not have the security of having a position after you graduate, right? So it doesn't really make that much sense. So a lot of people that would have typically applied for law school at Harvard are not doing it. So Harvard has changed its standards to make it easier to get people to apply for their school. So that's one thing that's happening. I've also heard that in some law schools, they're actually giving a discounted rate on their tuition. So in other words, if you graduate from a particular law school, I think it was somewhere up in New York, I think it was Brooklyn Law School. If you graduate from Brooklyn Law School and you can't land a job within a certain amount of months, they actually give you something like 10 to 15% of your tuition back. So obviously something is going on with this, and it's not limited just to the legal field. What's also happening is the artificial intelligence also comes into play with 3D printing, which is nothing more than algorithms designed to make and create things, right? So it's more artificial intelligence with templates to create items, right? So let's think about this for a second. What businesses are out there, what industries are out there that that would potentially be at risk of being basically eliminated? Well, one in particular would be orthodontal work, right? People that, orthodontists who develop molds and things of that nature to build devices for the inside of people's mouths, right? That particular field is at risk of being significantly changed by 3D printing, which is nothing more than artificial intelligence, and goes right back to the conversation that we talked about. You know, are these positions going to be wiped out forever, or is there going to be something else that's going to come out that will replace it? So what I really want to do is I want to ask you to comment and give me your thoughts, because I'm interested in finding out what the general public thinks.